we're talking about all types of factoring. And in this case, we're factoring trinomials in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this case, our a is not equal to 1. We have a lead coefficient of 4. And so the first thing we want to look at is we want to look for any common factors. In this case, we have a 4, a 1, and a 3. So there's no common factors there. So now we just want to guess and check. There's other ways to do this, but we are going to try this as guess and check. So we still want to make sure that we still want to be able to multiply to the last term. We want to be able to add to the middle term, and we still need to be able to multiply to the first term. So what things could I multiply to get to 4x squared? So we could say 4x times x, or we could say 2x times 2x. So either one of those will get us to 4x squared. What could we multiply to get to negative 3? In this case, we only have 3 and 1. So in this case, it's going to be actually easier to start filling in our last part of the binomial. So this one's 3 and this one's 1. And now we want to be able to add to positive x. Well, 2x times 3 would be 6x, and 2x times 1 would be 2x. So 2x plus 6x is equal to 8x, and 6x minus 2x is equal to 4x. That doesn't get us to 1x. So if we use the 2x one, that doesn't work. So I have to use the 4x. If I put the 4x here in the first of the second binomial, 4x times 3 is 12x. That's not going to get us to 1x. So we have to put 4x here. And then we have to put x right here. They have to multiply to negative 1, multiply to negative 3 and add to 1. If we make this last one negative, negative 1 times 4 is negative 1, or negative 4. So that's not going to work. So this negative sign has to be here, and the positive sign has to be here. So that's in factored form. And the only way that I can say to do that, if we do it this way, is you just have to keep guessing and checking and check to see what works and what doesn't work. The next one that we're looking at is going to be the same idea. What are the possible things that multiply together to get us to x or 6m squared? So we could have 6m times m, or we could have 2m times 3m. So one of those two will work. What are the only things that multiply together to get us to 2? We could have negative 2 times negative 1, or we could have 2 times 1. So this one back here is going to be a little easier to work with because we only have 2 possibilities really. So we set up our binomial, and we know that we have to have a 2 and a 1 at the end. And for this one, just guess and check. I'm going to pick the 2 and the 3. So I'll put 3m here, and I'll put 2. 3m times 2m is 6m squared. 2 times 1 is 2. 2m times 2m is positive 4, and that's positive 3m. So if I make them both negative, then that will be the factored form for that one. And that is just simply guessing and checking my answers.